welcome again to Crimewatch. I'm Millie Pua and this is my co-host, Inspector Philip Ma.
Hello.
Tonight on Crimewatch, teenage street corner gangs and how we can control them, and a recent series of armed robberies. Could it be the same man?
But first, a case from our police files.
Gold. Man's obsession with his most precious metals have been well documented. Whether in its raw form or in jewellery like this, it seems to have been able to capture our imagination over these years. It's still one of the major commodities traded all over the world, and many governments' funds are backed by investments in gold. Needless to say, people fought over gold and still do. And that's what happened 20 years ago, when 3 gold dealers were strangled to death over 120 gold bars, 120 kilos of solid gold, then worth $500,000. 1971, the Vietnam War is still raging. As trust in the value of hard currency fell, gold became the safest of assets, and for thousands of boat people fleeing Vietnam, their ticket to freedom. Gold bars couldn't be sold in Vietnam, so smuggling thrived. Singapore became a transit point. Airline crews were vital middlemen, ferrying both gold and large sums of cash payments. One of those middlemen was Andrew Chow, a young air traffic supervisor with Air Vietnam. He was making good money from commissions, servicing 3 syndicates, until he misplaced over $500,000 meant for payment. He eventually found the money, but when he returned it, they no longer wanted to do business with him. This affected his earnings substantially. Andrew was determined to overcome the loss.
Don't care. Next time they come with the gold, intercept them, get the gold. You help me to get it.
He recruited his elder brother David, a graduate working as a sales manager, and a close friend Augustine Ang, a delivery clerk, who agreed to take care of everything.
Call me in, no problem, man. I'll get all the men.
A few weeks later, Augustine brought the group of young men he had rounded up for the job to meet the brothers.
My brother Andrew has run into some business trouble. 2 or 3 men are coming to the house.
And they must be brought down.
But it must be done clean and quiet. And the bodies must be buried.
Yeah, I know a place in Changi. There's a deep well there. We can throw the bodies in.
Good.
The men were promised a few $1,000s each and asked to stand by on Wednesdays, Fridays and Sundays, the days before the Air Vietnam flights to Saigon.
Happy holiday. Happy holiday. Happy holiday.
A month later, Andrew moved into action.
Merry bells keep ringing.
Hello? The men are coming tonight with the gold. Yes, we'll do it tonight. Get the boys ready. Yep.
In the backyard of Andrew and David's bungalow in Serangoon Gardens, the trap was set for the 120 gold bars worth $500,000. That night, gold dealer Ngô Cheng Po packed the gold for delivery. Meanwhile, at Andrew's house, the 7 men and Augustine waited in the kitchen. It was close to midnight, and all was quiet in the house.
They're all sleeping, but what if they wake up?
Don't worry, it'll be very fast. They're here.
The goods are here, please help carry.
Gold dealer Ngô was accompanied by his 2 assistants. The 6 bags of gold were carried to the backyard. One of Ngô's assistants waited outside.
120 pictures here, all wrapped up. Please check.
Hey guys, you all bought the wrong thing. Just tell my captain about it. Okay, all of you in the container. Alex, you grab the bodies and follow us quick. Put the gold in the back set, all the bags.
Hello，
Mrs. Cole，你先究竟嚟得未㗎？
而家都未到啊！頭先你打電話嚟嗰陣，佢已經出咗去咯。
啊，嚟。
The next morning, Ngo's wife got worried and decided to report to the police.
警察哥啊，我個丈夫尋晚冇返嚟。
Police officer, is Andrew Chow in?
Yeah.
Can we come to the
Ngo's
house,
wife's
please?
report to the police led them straight to Andrew and David that night.
Is your brother David in, please?
Yeah, I'm David.
Yeah, we are from CID. Can both of you follow us to CID to assist us in investigation?
Andrew's bandaged hand drew even more suspicion. So did the bruises on David's body.
Interview both of you at the CID. Just get dressed up. Just dress up.
The brothers were picked up just 24 hours after the incident. The next day, police matched the nylon cords and wire found on the bodies to those found in the house.
Police officers, are you okay? You're under arrest. You okay?
One by one, the others were arrested. The gold was found in the house of one of the boys' aunt. She was to have helped sell the gold. All the gold was recovered. The trial stretched for 30 days. 47 witnesses were called, and the complex details surrounding this affair emerged. There were contradictions.
Augustine pestered me a lot of times. He was the boss of the show.
Each had their own version, all disclaiming the murder motive. All except Augustine Ang, who became the prosecution's main witness. Augustine was in the witness box for 10 days. He admitted to being part of the plot to rob and murder. The court accepted his account as the truth. Augustine Ang's testimony clearly implicated the Chow brothers and the others. Their appeals, first through the courts and then to the president, were both rejected. Ringo Lee and Stephen Lee were only 16 when they committed the crime and were spared the gallows. They were detained. As for prosecution witness Augustine Ang, his life was also spared. He was detained under the Criminal Law Temporary Provisions Act. David and Andrew Chow and 5 others were hanged on 28 February 1975.
Augustine Ng was released after serving 16 years and then put under police supervision for 3 years. Stephen Lee wasted 17 years in jail. Ringo Lee, now 37 years old, is still serving time.
Well, that was the 70s. Today, they're still young rebels, but perhaps with very different causes. After the break, teenage street corner gangs and the advice of an ex-secret society leader. Stay with us. A lone gunman has struck Singapore. In the last few months, there have been 5 counts of armed robberies committed by a man in the central and eastern part of Singapore. The police believe it could be the work of one man using the same revolver.
The revolver used is similar to this one. All his victims say he carried it in a bag, a different one at each time. And we have closed-circuit TV footage of the robber. You can see him at the top right-hand corner of the screen.
This is a photo fit of the man we're looking for. We believe that he is a Chinese in his late 20s, about 1.77 meters tall, well-built and sporty, and of tan complexion. He wears his hair short and parted in the middle.
If you can give us any information on the identity of the robber or anything that can help us in our investigations, please call our hotline at 225-0000. That's 225-0000.
Lately, we've read and heard about teenagers involved in gang fights, sometimes resulting in death. But according to police investigations, the problem, although of concern, is not alarming.
We've found that many of those involved in street corner gangs are wayward teens who sometimes form themselves into gangs. These aren't real secret societies and don't necessarily have direct links with mainstream adult gangs. They get violent over petty things like staring incidents, jealousy, and other misunderstandings.
However, it is a disturbing trend. We now take a look at how the police are trying to control the problem and how we as a community can play a part. 65-year-old Tan Lai Huat has been in and out of prison for the past 32 years. He was leader of a secret society in the 60s and was known as Chiu Ang Mo.
因为那个时候我年纪很小，那想要出风头，而且要虚荣，所以我参加入这个社会党。我知道我坐牢的苦衷，所以我宣布我的下级的人把这个党砍掉。
His links to the past are permanently etched on his back. Secret societies, rampant in the 50s and 60s, were brought in by the Chinese immigrants. Initially, they were groups formed to provide communal support among the Chinese. From these mutual support groups, they degenerated into secret societies. They resorted to violence and extortion. But this has become a thing of the past. Over the years, tough law enforcement and better living conditions have curbed secret society activities and brought them under control. What has emerged instead are youth gangs. They still exist for young people, a desire to acquire self-importance and to seek adventure. Therein lies the danger of being lured into bad company, hanging out with groups linked to existing gangs and remnants of secret societies. 15-year-old Abeng was a bright Sec 2 student. While hanging around a shopping mall near his school, he got to know Tiong.
"当时我好奇好玩，而且叛逆性啊，人看到我朋友参加，我就跟他们一起参加了。
Abeng spent most of his time with his newly found friends. He lost all interest in studies and at times stayed out all night. That's when the trouble started. one boy from the rival gang escaped. Within hours, Abing and his friends were arrested.
我也是出去玩嘛，我的朋友被他们打嘛，我们就打回他们咯。
Police are continuously on the alert, making routine checks at places where young people hang out or act on information received.
Come together with who?
Police vigilance over the years have kept the situation under control. 4 months ago, police conducted an island-wide crackdown on 28 unlicensed billiard saloons. They've become a distraction for students who would skip classes to come here for a game and to gamble. Those detected with secret society activities are given a warning and counseling sessions which include their parents.
You must realize that your children, today when they come here, they receive the warning. The thing is, after the warning, they're going to leave CID, they're going to continue their lives. You and I cannot guarantee
an important
that they will not
eye-opener
go back
is a visit to the
to
Changi prison. If caught, this is what they're in for. And the punishment that comes with a sentence.
You are young, you are school, you are in uniform, the police cannot catch you wrong.
The message is driven home in the schools.
If you are very deeply involved in secret society activities, that is murder. For example, I am involved in a trouble with another gang. I call all of you to follow me. And we go there, we fight. Some of you did not fight, but stand beside and clap hands. And if someone were to get killed there, we will investigate.
Youngsters are warned about the gruesome outcomes of those who continue with activities. How did the police put secret societies and youth gangs under control over the years?
We had succeeded in putting down the terror of secret society in Singapore because of 3 factors. Firstly, tough enforcement. Secondly, tough laws against secret society, including detention without trial. Thirdly, good police-public cooperation. The teenage street corner gangs are not exactly the triad or secret societies of the 1950s. They are less well organized. Nonetheless, they can be equally vicious. The police will do what they can to prevent growth of such street corner gangs. But there is a limit to which we can do. Parents are, of course, the best person to detect any change when their children become wayward.
For parents, these are some of the signs in your son or daughter to watch out for. Losing interest in studies and playing truant. Spending time with those outside of school and smoking. Packing extra clothes to school. This could mean going out straight from school to hang out at undesirable places. Bringing penknives to school. Acts of hooliganism. Bad manners. Tattoos on the body. Some groups identify with popular American bands or football teams. The use of vulgar language. Like in the case of Abing's father, he was too busy with his work. He didn't realize that Abing was in bad company until the police called.
就是因为我们他在读写的时候没有特别注意到啦，没有关心到他们没有。 变成他们交上坏的朋友了。所以我们现在发现有，应该尽量使他们改过来这样。
More importantly is whether you have established a bond, a close relationship with your child since young, because if it is, then the child will have sufficient what we call anchor points in life. The child would roughly know how to differentiate between good and bad things in life, how to understand what's acceptable and not. And I think parents have to then try their best to use whatever free time they have to help a child understand and guide the child in these areas. Otherwise, the child will just have to learn it from elsewhere, which may not be totally desirable sometimes.
These scars will always remind Abeng of his ill-fated connections. He left school after the fighting incidents and is now attending night classes and looking forward to a better future. As for Tan Lai Huat, he has wasted his life in prison.
我们坐牢，拖累了父母，拖累了妻儿，所以要劝那些学生们啊，不要受人家的利用，不要为了像我过去这样要虚荣，要出风头，就要去追求他的前途，将来有希望。做了你歹呀行过歹呀名声，厝边个头袂个人惊。 有啊是你讲话个无啊人听，绝了力量又个大亲情。
What a wasted life, and that segment on caning is really quite something, isn't it?
Yes, it actually is a very sombering experience for those who are there. Between May last year and February this year, 462 young people, mainly students, were taken on these prison visits. Since then, none of them have reappeared in CID's investigations or records.
But if you need help or you know of someone who does, don't hesitate to approach your nearest neighborhood police post. We assure you that the information will be handled in strict confidence. There are also helplines that you can call for help. These are 3 helplines for teenagers. Students Line 281-2522, Teen Challenge 442-0918, and Teens Line 221-4949. SOS is a 24-hour helpline for anyone in a crisis. Call them at 221-4444. And for parents, you can call Parents Line at 289-8811. Well, that's it for Crime Watch, but we'll be back with more cases in June. Good night.
Good night.
Welcome to Crime Watch. I'm Noraza Ismail and this is my co-host, Inspector Philip Ma.
Hello.
In tonight's program, we'll be looking at a crime in which the old-fashioned advice of don't talk to strangers holds true, and tips on how criminals operate so that you are a bit more aware of what you can do. But first, the story of a police officer's bravery in the course of duty, one of the many from the police files which highlights their efforts to fight crime. This one's from the 70s, when secret societies were rampant and notorious criminals abound.
Bang! 走啊，去楼上。我材料传给你，要是呀。
兄弟，刘放这个，什么这个？好啦，好，给明干下你喽。你的事业要 spy。
Chua Hongpeng grew up in the back streets of Chinatown, learning from what he observed of the underworld. He was drawn into a life of crime, starting as a petty thief.
紧嘞！
哎，仔，你問你緊張係西部？
緊啊！
我死了！行，兄弟。
But Chua had dreams to be a big timer in the underworld of secret societies. He was to become one day the notorious Gia Kang.
喂，知喎？我有一支槍，我什麼本會使做？
Anthony Low had always wanted to be a police officer. He joined the force when he was only 17 and rose steadily through the ranks.
By number 1, 2, move in, 3, all the way down, block. Okay, from here you secure. You all understand?
Anthony was posted to several units, including the police dog unit, before being selected to be in the secret society section of the CID.
Okay, hands up, action! Okay, the gun is taken away from the assailant, okay?
Unknown to both Anthony and Gia Kang, their lives were to cross many times in the future. Gia Kang was by then a wanted man and had moved from petty crimes to armed robberies, flagging down illegal or pirate taxis and robbing fellow passengers.
Wow, Kim啊，好咧！哇，手表啊！喂，你给我看，我莫惊，紧啊无啦？看，有啥物好看？莫甲我乱来啊！行。听我讲紧让做就做大个，做水趁无食，明白无？啊？做啥物大个？做啥物本会使？我有钱。莫甲用。莫开机，哈？莫开机。愈做愈好咯。10机够无？哈？够，愈做愈好嘛。惊无了？有啥物？俺是无做个。来啦，仔细。阿仔，来走。
Anthony arrested Gia Kang, who was to spend some years in prison. Unrepentant, Gia Kang returned to his reckless ways, more daring than before. One of his first crimes after he came out of prison was robbing a money changer.
你是抱什么空头？你知无？我伫内面听到有一个 Agnes， 伊伫 Alexander 咯开一间什么 credit company， 真无变有钱啦。啊，拍照啊？你叫什么？我有一支吗？明仔人大去找你。明仔。 喂，老给说哎。
那边。
我是咪做工啊？老给说。什么代志？好势无？哇，袂歹嘛，做甲变大咧。
跟你什么关系？
当今有诶代志无？
你要做什么？
你看，是呢，来要两个亲子啊！当今我欠命3000块，啊，出来行诶，也要自动，也要做人。
我问哪人多钱，这个问哪人多钱。
莫甲我算，我袂甲你客气诶。
哦，慢讲，做。
你有 check 着无？啊，啥一组 check 我缀你有人行，行，紧啊！ 你敢叫我马达？你别跟他抬了啊！呀，进来！
Anthony, case as person.
Police?
CID? Yes, what happened?
Just now two men came out, one tall, one short. Short one went inside. They demand for money. They left in my boss car.
What number?
EA 946.
What color?
It's a blue color car.
Where?
Shaw House.
Anthony and his men immediately went to Shaw House. They met Agnes and was told that there was a hitch in securing the large sum of money at the bank. The gunman was willing to wait and would return to the office to collect the money. Anthony directed his men to take up positions for an ambush at the office. Until now, they had no idea who the gunman was.
Yeah, chapter C.
Okay, you can go inside to the office.
Okay.
Then you can take the police. Is he Akang? I think he went over the side. Okay, you guys check over the back.
Kia Kang's gang was crippled shortly after his death. Several members of his gang were arrested. Anthony Low received the Police Gallantry Medal in 1976 from the late President Shears for his exceptional courage during the critical minutes when his life was in extreme danger. Anthony had remained calm and waited for the right moment to turn the tables on his assailant. In 1978, he was promoted to the rank of Detective Station Inspector. Today, he heads the Crime Control Unit of Bedok Police Division.
When we come back, we'll take a look at how immense money was stolen in what seemed to be a perfectly innocent meeting. So stay with us. Welcome back. In our last program, we showed you how you could be victims of pickpockets. This time, we'd like to alert you to another method in which a theft took place before the victim's very eyes.
Sir, here's your $6,000.
Thank you.
Around 10:15 a.m., Mr. Chung, together with his business partner, was at one of the commercial banks at Collier Key. They were there to withdraw U.S. currency.
Is the amount correct, sir?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Welcome.
Mr. Chung was unaware that he was being watched.
Hello, Fred.
Yes.
I'm from Kuwait.
Yes.
I
What
see
can I
you
do for
change
you?
American dollars just now.
Yes.
My one looks different from your American dollars. My American?
Oh.
Can I see your one, please?
Okay.
Not suspecting anything, Mr. Chung showed him the US dollars he'd just withdrawn.
I think different. I see. Oh, this is.
Yes.
Oh, American dollars, not same as mine. Different.
You know where this
place is?
Sorry, I don't.
Sure?
No idea. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, sorry, we have to go. We have to go. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
Shortly after leaving the bank, Mr. Chung and his friend headed for a nearby snack bar, sensing something was amiss.
Troy, I think something is not right just now at the bank, you know.
You mean the two men at the bank?
Yeah, I think they're up to no good. I better check my money. Oh gosh, some money is missing.
$2,500 was stolen from Mr. Chung right under his nose. He barely had his money out of his sight. Police believe this is how it could have happened.
Can I see your money, please? My one looks different from your American dollars. My American?
Oh.
Can I see your one, please?
Okay. Are you sure it's different?
I think different. I see. American dollars, not same as mine.
Really?
Different.
You know
where
this
place is?
No idea. Sure? No idea. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, we have to go. We really have to go.
Okay, thank you.
Come on, let's go.
Did you notice how fast the men did it? The money was folded and slipped out of sight in a matter of seconds. The amount of money stolen in the various cases ranged from a few $100s to as much as $10,000. A common feature is the way the culprits approach their victims, usually requesting to see the money. They usually work in groups of 2 or more. Mr. Chung's meeting with the two men was captured on the closed-circuit TV installed at the bank. Let's take a look. Mr. Chung is on the extreme right of the screen. As he moves out, one of the men approaches him. Now, take note of the man on the extreme left. He's believed to be the accomplice, waiting to move in at the right time. There you see him approaching Mr. Chung and his business partner, distracting their attention. And that must be when the theft took place. You can see how the man slips the money into his pocket. They certainly look pretty pleased with themselves.
The first suspect is in his early 20s, fair complexion, slim built, about 1.8 meters or 6 feet tall, last seen wearing a white t-shirt and long pants. His accomplice is in his 40s, sporting a mustache, tan complexion, and last seen wearing a short sleeve shirt and beige trousers. Both men look Middle Eastern. If you have any information on these men, please come forward. Any small detail could help the police in their investigation. The number to call is 1-800-225-0000. That's 1-800-225-0000.
While it may be discourteous not to answer queries from strangers, you do have to be careful about what they're after. Certainly be wary about parting with your money so easily, even for seconds, because that's all it takes.
It's hard to say what new tricks these con men have up their sleeves. Since the beginning of this year, 50 similar cases have been reported. Victims only discover the loss when it's too late, so do be careful. Before we wrap up, we'd like to leave you with some good advice. Let's join Naraza as she soaks in the festive mood.
Well, once again, it's a season to be jolly. More people go shopping or on their holidays. We've also got more cash in hand, and often our houses are left unattended. It's also a time when criminals are on the lookout to rob you on the streets or even break into your houses. But there are some precautions we could take so that we do not fall prey to these criminals. First, avoid withdrawing large sums of money from the ATM machines and do not carry these large amounts with you. It's better to use nets or ATM cards instead. Glittering jewelry. Pretty, aren't they? Yes, they're certainly nice to look at and tempting for others. So try not to be too excessive in what you wear, especially if you're going out shopping or if you're likely to walk in lonely back lanes or dark places. Make arrangements with a family member or friend to escort you home late at night. You saw in our last program how pickpockets operate. Well, keep them at the back of your minds. Always make sure your handbag is in a safe position, that is, either in front of you or under your arms. As for shopping bags, never leave them unattended. If you have to leave your shopping bags in your car, don't make a display of them. You're only inviting potential thieves. Keep them in the boot, or better still, out of sight. This is the time of the year too when families go on vacation and leave their homes unattended, and that's when the housebreaker usually strikes. The first thing they look out for are signs indicating the absence of occupants. Uncollected newspaper is one of the telltale signs. This could invite trouble. Leaving notes outside your flat is a sure giveaway. Housebreakers know exactly where to look for the keys. When going out, it is not enough merely locking up your gate. Inferior quality locks can easily be cut using the right tools. Neither are doors fitted with poor door locks and weak frames deterrent to housebreakers.
As you can see, it's best to invest in a metal clasp, secured with a closed shackle padlock like this one, which is quite difficult to cut.
Your main door should be fitted with strong and good quality Mortise locks with deadbolting features.
Also, don't keep large sums of cash or valuables at home. Keep them in a bank in a safe deposit box. Do inform your neighbors that you're out or away and to keep an eye on your home. Instill a sense of neighborliness by looking out for each other. You could also join the Neighborhood Watch Group. This is a group of volunteers in the same neighborhood who look out for each other's safety. For more information on joining the scheme, you could contact your nearest neighborhood police post.
Well, this is the last program for the year. Have a great new year and do join us again next year. Good night.
Good night.
Hello and welcome to Crimewatch. I'm Naraza Ismail and with me is Inspector Philip Ma.
Hello.
Before we get into tonight's program, here's an update of the fatal hit-and-run accident featured in the previous episode of Crimewatch. The police received a few calls leading to the identification of the victim. He was Amin Uddin, a Bangladeshi worker.
We would like to thank the public for their calls. We are still looking for the eyewitnesses or any other information about this hit-and-run accident. It took place on the 23rd of February this year, around 9:45 p.m. at the junction between Mountbatten Road and Nickel Highway. you can call our toll-free hotline at 1-800-225-0000. That's 1-800-225-0000. And now to our first story.
On June 10, 1992, an 18-year-old girl was gang raped at a lonely spot along Changi Coast Road. The culprits thought they had made a clean getaway, but little did they know that they had left behind evidence that would lead to their arrest 17 days later. The following is an enactment of what happened. The names of the victims have been changed. 10 June 92, 5 Chinese men and 3 females had just finished supper at Telok Blangah. All were Malaysians and 4 of the men had just arrived in Singapore the day before. After supper, they left in a blue twin-cabin lorry that one of them had borrowed from his employer. Meanwhile, Alan and his girlfriend Siu Chu had just finished watching a movie.
Siu Chu, this place looks quite. Shall we go in?
Well, okay.
Before going home, they decided to spend some time at a quiet spot. While traveling on the lorry, this group decided to make a detour for some fun. By then, Alan and Siu Chu were at a lonely spot between Changi Coast Road and the beach. Shortly after, the blue lorry arrived at Changi Coast Road. It turned off the road into the same location chosen earlier by Alan and Siu Chu, scouting for couples. Spotting Alan's motorcycle, they knew there must be a couple nearby. It was the start of a nightmare for Alan and Siu Chu.
Okay. Jogging.
Siu Chu was gang raped by the 5 men. In their hurry to leave, the driver brushed his vehicle against a tree, causing slight damage to the lorry. But all 5 culprits thought they had gotten away scot-free. Alan managed to free himself and Siu Chu. They walked to Changi Coast Road to get help. After waiting for some time, they spotted a few cyclists on the main road.
Help!
Alan stopped them and asked for help.
Please call the police, please. Just do me a favor, call the police. Okay, we'll call police. Police, there's a couple need help.
A few minutes later, officers from the neighborhood police post arrived. Alan was able to inform the police that the 5 culprits had escaped in a twin-cabin lorry.
Can you help me check with my girlfriend, please?
Immediately after establishing that there had been a rape and robbery, the Bedok police station and the CID were notified.
A reference message, case of gang rape confirmed so far.
The area was sealed off to preserve possible evidence. Soon after, the organised crime branch of CID took over the investigation, with Inspector Deep Singh in charge. Siu Chu told him that she saw the prefix YG and the digit 3 on the lorry's license plate.
woman officer is on the way here. She will bring you for medical examination, all right?
After Siu Chu was attended to by a female officer, she was sent for a medical examination. The search for evidence then began.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. From scene of crime? Yes, welcome, sir. This is a case of rape cum robbery. Yes, sir. The couple that
With the confirmation of the exact location of the crime from Alan, a painstaking search of the area was carried out immediately by the scene of crime officers.
the couple whose sister is over there. After that, he was encountered.
Tire tracks, the victim's blouse, and fragments of a signal light cover were found.
From our examination of the scene, we found broken pieces of signal light cover at the base of a tree and some marking on the same tree trunk. There was some blue paint left behind. From this examination, we came to the tentative conclusion that the lorry had brushed against the tree while it was leaving the scene.
Even from the little they had, Inspector Deep Singh and his team were experienced enough to deduce that the lorry was unlikely to be stolen or had a false number plate, since the culprits had attempted to cover it.
Yes, Inspector Deep Singh here from Organised Crime.
The prefix YG also suggested it was a local vehicle. The CID officers then concentrated on tracking down the lorry. Inspector Deep Singh proceeded to obtain records of blue twin-cabin lorries in Singapore, bearing the prefix YG and the digit 3. The numbers ran into more than 1,000.
Saw the prefix of
Due to the large numbers of lorries involved, it was clear that an island-wide operation had to be mounted. The police force, CID, and Police Land Division and Traffic Police were mobilized to look out for a vehicle matching that description.
This workshop to interview the workshop owners and mechanics.
Uncle, what's the idea, huh?
Hundreds of workshops were visited to find out whether such a vehicle had been sent in for repairs.
Morning.
Checks were also carried out on owners of double-cabin lorries and their vehicles. This exhaustive operation was to go on for 17 days. But the intensive legwork paid off. On the 17th day, a CID detective visited a motor workshop at Yishun. He spotted a vehicle that fitted the description. It was a blue double-cabin lorry with scratch marks and a slight dent on the front right portion. The right signal light cover was also broken.
There's YG, there's a 3 and also a digit 3 there. Yeah, that is good for the box. Yeah, from the owner, we managed to find out who was the person who had used this lorry. We also managed to establish from the owner, when this person returned the lorry the following day, there were damages on the front driver's side. So from this evidence, we knew quite safely that we had got the correct target. Police.
At 5:30 a.m. on 28 June, CID officers raided the home of Fung Meng at Ang Mo Kio. Fung Meng, 11 other male Chinese and 3 female Chinese who were also at his home were arrested. A thorough interrogation was then mounted. All 5 culprits were among the people arrested from the flat. All 5 admitted to the offence. It was also confirmed that the 3 female Chinese were present in the blue lorry at the time. The most incriminating evidence, however, was found in the laboratory. Specimens of blood and saliva of the culprits were taken to the Institute of Science and Forensic Medicine to determine whether the DNA profile matched the profile of the semen found on the victim's clothing. The DNA examination results were positive. The Institute of Science and Forensic Medicine also matched the signal light cover fragments found at the scene of the crime with the damaged signal light cover of the vehicle. It was a perfect match. The culprits went on trial in the High Court on 23rd August last year. All 5 pleaded guilty in the face of overwhelming and conclusive evidence against them. Each was given 12 strokes of the cane and had jail sentences ranging from 11 to 22 years.
Here's where the gang rape took place. As you can see, it's really dark and extremely deserted out here. Although the crime situation in Singapore is well under control, couples should still be aware that they're taking a very big risk by coming to such isolated places like this at night. It's safer for them to go to places where other couples are around. The presence of people would deter would-be criminals.
Welcome back. Motorcycles are a cheap and convenient mode of transport. However, being small also means being less noticeable and more vulnerable to accidents.
In Singapore, motorcycle accidents have been rising for the past few years. For every 10 accidents that happened on the road last year, 6 involved motorcyclists and pillions, resulting in 123 deaths and 245 with serious injuries. What you're about to see actually happened recently.
On 9th March this year, at about 6:40 p.m, the traffic police received an accident report involving a motorcyclist at Upper Paya Lebar Road. According to eyewitnesses, the rider lost control of his motorcycle while making a U-turn. He collided against the guardrail and died instantly. He was only 17 years old. Last year, there were over 3,000 motorcycle accidents. That comes up to an average of about 9 accidents each day. Of this, 2 persons were killed or seriously injured. Motorcycle accidents can happen anywhere on our roads, at junctions, around bends, and even along straight roads. Often, it's the result of unsafe riding habits of motorcyclists, a view shared by many car drivers.
They're turning from the right lane onto a left road, see? They don't give ample warning. The next thing you know, they're turning left without giving any signal.
They tend to ride on the extreme right without, just carry on riding, you know. And for us, people who want to overtake a vehicle on the right, it prevents us from overtaking.
Sometimes these motorcyclists do not have any road safety awareness. They seem to be competing and chasing each other on the roads, as if they're in some exciting game. To them it may be exciting, but to other road users like me, we don't feel safe at all.
The very bad habit which they do is to weave in and out without signals. Very inconsiderate way to do it.
Other common unsafe riding habits like tailgating, especially behind heavy vehicles, is potentially dangerous. And this may happen when a motorcyclist doesn't slow down before a bend or a curve.
Of course, accidents do not happen only to motorcyclists, but when they do, they often result in serious injuries.
Whenever Sega was not helping out at his brother's shop, he would ride his motorcycle around with friends. Last May, Sega was visiting his friends till early morning. He had hardly enjoyed his second month on the motorcycle when the accident happened.
I don't know what's the cause of the accident, but all of a sudden my bike skidded and I was thrown off from the bike, and that's all I could recall. Once I was in the hospital, I realized that I couldn't move my legs. I thought something's wrong. And when I inquired about my condition from the doctors, I was told that I'm having some spinal injuries, and they tried to cure, but they told me that it's permanent injury. So I'm going to be paralyzed for the rest of my life.
Now, Sega is learning how to be independent again, hoping that soon he will be able to go out to work on his own. It took him almost half a year to adjust to his disability. From that tragic accident, something he thought only happened to others.
I've seen my friends getting involved in accidents, minor accidents, major accidents, everything. But all I thought was, I'm not going to be as unlucky as them. It can happen to others, but not me. That's what I thought. I never thought that one day it's going to happen to me also.
As road users, motorcyclists should take full responsibility for their own safety, as well as that of others. It's something even professionals do not leave to chance. Fabian Louis was interested in motorcycling ever since he was just 10 years old. In 1974, he started racing in the Clubsman race at Shah Alam, Malaysia. Since then, he has raced in many countries and has won several championships. For Fabian, racing on the track is about testing his skills and winning the race. But when he's on the road, he takes on a very different approach.
When you are riding on public roads, you are actually sharing the roads with many other different types of road users. And that makes the traffic situation very unpredictable. Furthermore, the roads do not have runoff areas on the side for the rider to make a safe exit if anything goes wrong. As a rider, I know how vulnerable my position is when there's any emergency. That's why I never take chances when riding on public roads. I would rather prefer a safer approach and adopt the defensive riding strategy so that I can always arrive at the planned destination safely.
Motorcyclists should not leave anything to chance. At the driving centres, trainees are not only taught the basic riding techniques, but also constantly reminded on safe riding habits.
The important thing about checking the tyre is actually the air pressure, as the tyre is the only contact with the road surface. All right, and too much or too little air.
It is very important to do pre-ride checks every day. This is to ensure that the motorcycle is in good working condition, especially the tyres, brakes and lights. When riding, motorcyclists should always wear white or light-coloured clothing. This will allow other road users to see them better and more clearly. Helmets should always be secured. For added protection, motorcyclists should also wear long pants, shoes and gloves. On the road, motorcyclists should take the left lane and always to ride in the centre of the lane. It's also very important to ride bright to ensure visibility for other road users. Always maintain a safe distance from the vehicles in front so that there is enough time to react to emergencies. All motorists must not drive or ride when under the influence of alcohol or medicine. It's better and safer all round to use public transport or to get a friend to send you home. Don't take the chance.
Records have shown that first-year new riders are 4 times more vulnerable than any other motorists. To help them along, we'll soon have these probation plates. So starting 1st September this year, new riders and drivers will have to display these plates during their 1-year probation period. This is to alert other road users that the drivers and riders are new on the road and more road space and consideration should be given to them.
However, when it comes to accidents involving motorcyclists, car drivers are not entirely blameless. Inconsiderate driving, like competing for road space, is also a major contributing factor to accidents involving motorcycles.
There have been many occasions while riding on the road when other cars deliberately follow behind me very closely. It always makes me very uneasy.
Sometimes they treat us like we are second citizens on the road. I must say that we pay road tax too, so we have the right of the road. It's not because they are big, so they can bully us.
They are used to seeing motorbikes swerving in and out, but not all motorbike riders are like that. So sometimes they just cut into your lane and expect you to swerve. But that's quite dangerous for us also because we have to either brake suddenly or really swerve, but Sometimes we can't even swerve because there are cars on left and right of us and we can't do that at all.
When I'm traveling on the main road, approaching a T-junction, the cars at the minor road usually just turn into the main road and force us to slow down just for him.
What you've just seen are some common examples of inconsiderate driving that can lead to accidents. Under the road traffic rules and regulations, reckless or dangerous driving that results in the death of another person carries a heavy penalty. If convicted, you could be sentenced up to 5 years jail.
Accidents can be prevented if motorists are mindful of the potential hazards on the road and practice safe driving habits.
And for motorcyclists, always be extra careful and alert. It's the only way to stay on the roads.
We take a break now. When we return, an unsolved case, the brutal murder of a university professor. Welcome back. A look now at an unsolved case which you may be able to help the police with. On 12 December 93, a brutal murder occurred at number 20 Greenleaf Place. The victim, Professor Lee Kok Cheong, was the head of the English Proficiency Unit at the National University of Singapore. On 14 December, 2 days after the murder, his body was found on the top floor of his semi-detached house.
Hello?
什么事啊？我拍报纸啊。
隔壁好像有点不太对嘞。他的门开着，灯开着，还有昨天的报纸也没有拿。
什么？
这样不太对嘞。
这样我看我打电话给隔壁看看。 Hello， 警察。
A fast response car from Clementi Police HQ arrived at the scene within minutes.
里面谁报警？
我报警的。我觉得这个屋子很奇怪，它灯开着，你看，那个门开着，还有昨天的报纸还在嘞。
我打电话也是没有人听。
里面等我 check。Follow me。
After listening to the informant's report, 2 constables went into the house to check.
Check the back. I go upstairs and check.
Right.
Corporal Tan was to find the deceased lying supine in the master bedroom. It was certified later that the death was caused by strangulation. The house was also ransacked. The deceased was last seen by his elder brother, Mr. Lee Kok Ming, on Sunday, 12 December last year around noon. The deceased visited his brother at Toa Payoh to arrange with him to look after the deceased's house since he was going away for a sabbatical in England and China. The police also found a brown wallet, $1,200 cash, and the deceased's POSB ATM card was stolen.
After further investigation, we believe that 3 Chinese men, all about 20 years old, hold the key to solving the murder. The first man is about 1.7 meters tall, fair and slim. He has straight and normal length hair, parted on the left. The second man is about 1.68 meters tall, slightly tan and medium built. His hair is straight and also of normal length. The last man is about 1.7 meters tall, fair and slim. He also has straight and normal length hair.
If you have any information on who or where they are, please call the police. You might have even seen someone loitering around or leaving the deceased's house between 3 p.m. on 12 December and 6 a.m. on 13 December last year.
Should you have this or any information which may assist us in solving the murder, you should call the police toll-free hotline at 1-800-225-0000. That's 1-800-225-0000. All information and identities will be kept strictly confidential.
Well, thank you for staying with Crime Watch. Until next month, good night.
Good night.
Hello, police.
Hello and welcome to Crime Watch. I'm Naraza Ismail and this is my co-host ASP Obek Kam.
Hello.
Between May and July 1993, 11 motorbikes, mostly of the same model, were stolen from all over Singapore. Marina Boulevard, Geylang, Cascaden Road and several from Woodlands Housing Estate.
The missing bikes were mainly Yamaha TZRs and most of them were never recovered. They just disappeared. After weeks of intelligence gathering, police caught the culprits, members of a motorcycle gang. This is what happened.
On most nights, this stretch of highway in Johor Bahru is quiet, except for the occasional vehicle going north. But on some nights, it turns into a racetrack. They were members of the Monte Carlo motorbike gang. For thrills and spills, they raced their bikes in Johor Bahru, sometimes within their own group, sometimes with others. Tonight was just another of those regular nights of excitement and danger. Rahmat, or Bota as everyone calls him because of his short haircut, enjoyed motorbikes. The only problem was, the bikes were usually not his.
400 boleh tell saya sampai. Tak gila. Ha.
The sudden spate of bike thefts all over the island got the Jurong Police Station's vehicle theft squad going. There weren't too many leads, but enough for the officers to get started on their investigations.
So far, there are 4 cases of motorcycle theft reported in Woodlands and 10 other cases reported in other division. I look at it, the pattern is the same. It could be the work of one person or one gang.
There's a group of motorcycle gang that I know of. Used to go racing in JB. It could be even them who are responsible of stealing this bike in Woodland and riding them across the causeway.
Okay, we work on that.
After weeks of investigations, police sources revealed more information about the motorbike gang.
Ada apa? Bang, ada lubang bang, bagus bang. Ni grup motor, Monte Carlo Group. Sekarang ramai duduk dekat blok 349 Woodland bang.
Ramai?
Ramai. Bagus tu.
Members of the Monte Carlo motorbike gang congregated at the void deck of Block 349 Woodlands every night around 8 o'clock. They frequented nightclubs in JB together and were always seen riding different motorbikes. Most telling of all was the leader of the group, none other than Bota himself. Rahmat bin Yusof was 24 and had a track record. He had been charged for inconsiderate driving, using a vehicle without the owner's consent and without a license. In 1986, when he was just 17, he was sent to the Reformatory Training Centre and disqualified from driving. The price he paid for stealing a motorbike. Could Bota be back at his old game? At around the same time, a stolen motorbike was recovered in JB by Malaysian police. It had been one of those stolen from Woodlands. By this time, evidence against Botak was starting to pile up. Singapore police began to move into high gear. An ambush was planned to arrest Botak on the 23rd of September 1993. Two officers waited for Botak at his haunt, Block 349. Another two waited at the Woodlands bus terminus. At around 7:30 in the evening, information from a source confirmed that Botak had been spotted.
Target is leaving for your direction. He's wearing a blue t-shirt and blue jeans. He's taking service number 178.
Target already in the bus about to leave terminus.
Okay, move it.
Polis! Botak! Polis! Jangan lari! Lari! Apa ni? Botak! Jangan bergerak! Jangan bergerak, Botak!
Under interrogation, Botak admitted to stealing 11 motorcycles, either by himself or with the help of some of his friends in the Monte Carlo gang. That same night, around midnight, Botak led police to a house in a kampong in the outskirts of Johor Bahru. This was where he and his Malaysian friends used to hang out together. They were accompanied by Malaysian police.
Hari dan kawan-kawannya berada sekarang.
Awak tunjukkan saya mana Hari dan kawan-kawan mereka sembunyi. Di mana rumah mereka?
Situ bang, di situ.
Betul ni rumah mereka?
Betul bang.
Okey, kopral. Polis! Buka pintu! Siapa Hari?
Saya, Encik. Apa ni, Encik? Apa ni, Encik? Hari!
These men sometimes bought stolen motorbikes or spare parts from Botak and even acted as middlemen, finding buyers for his bikes.
Beritahu saya mana barang motor yang kamu terima? Barang motor apa ni, Encik? Hari apa ni? Hari! Sekarang kamu menang Botak dah ditangkap oleh Singapura Polis. Sekarang beritahu saya mana tu barang motor? Kat belakang, Encik.
At the back of the house, motorbike parts like frames, tires and exhaust pipes were found. They were all from bikes stolen by Botak. 3 Malaysians were arrested. The next day, the police went into JB again with Botak. This time, he showed them a well where he had disposed a motorbike engine block. In the undergrowth near a rubber plantation, a rusting motorcycle frame was found. It had been stored there waiting for a buyer. With the recovery of evidence, other members of the gang were also arrested. Botak also explained how he operated. Botak was a lorry attendant with no fixed address, but he had been living in a friend's quarters in a construction site during the few months in 1993 when he was actively stealing motorbikes. Botak would hang out with his biker friends at Block 349 Woodlands on most nights. They also went into JB together to see their Malaysian friends and to patronize night spots. On September the 2nd, 1993, Botak decided to make use of a friend, Iskandar. He had invited Iskandar to go with him to JB. They arranged to meet at Block 349.
Botak, asal lambat?
Sorry ya Is, kau ada hal lah. Motor kau rosak, bawa workshop. Kau nak pergi pakai motor kawan aku lah. Mak sana kau tunggu sekejap
Cepat sikit lah.
Okey.
Botak then went to the other end of the block and walked around the car park looking for a bike to steal. Using the key of another stolen motorbike, he managed to start the bike. They rode straight to Woodlands checkpoint. He parked the bike in a car park in JB and then went back to Singapore in a taxi. Iskandar still didn't know what was happening. The next night, Botak went into JB again and showed the bike to his Malaysian contact.
Look, ni motor.
Macam boleh? Set.
Puas hati. Boleh tahan, babe. Berapa harga tu?
Member saya baca RM200 macam.
200 ya? 200 jadi ya. Jual tu mesti set.
A deal was struck. It was as simple as that. But an occupation Botak paid dearly for. Rahmat bin Yusuf was sentenced to 6 years imprisonment for 11 counts of motorcycle theft. 2 of his friends were sentenced to 1 month and 4 months for their part in some of the thefts. 4 others were placed under probation. The 3 Malaysians were dealt with by the Malaysian authorities.
Rahmat bin Yusuf is still serving out his 6-year sentence.
We'll go for a break now. When we come back, some tips on how to ensure your motorcycle does not become an easy target for thieves. So stay tuned. Welcome back. Well, motor vehicle thefts have been going down over the last 3 years. In 1992, there were 3,491 cases reported, but last year the number dropped to 2,602. And up to June this year, there were 1,288 cases. Almost 70% of the stolen vehicles have been recovered.
But motorcycles and scooters are still the main targets of motor thieves, and that's mostly due to negligence. Like every other Saturday night, Ridwan and Yati would go to the East Coast Park for a stroll. They parked at their usual spot and decided not to take their helmets along with them since they were not going to be very far and would be able to keep an eye on the bike. Or so they thought. Well, that could have been prevented if Ridwan had not taken the security of his motorcycle for granted. The first thing to do is to park your motorcycle in a well-lit car park. Then, make sure you remove the ignition key. It is important to always secure your motorcycle whenever you leave it unattended, even if it is only for a few minutes. Additional good locks and security devices such as this can act as crime deterrents. You can buy this lock, for instance, for about $40 at any motorcycle accessory shop. Although no lock is totally foolproof, they will make your bike more difficult to steal. Police records show that motorcycles are more likely to be stolen if they only have the inbuilt locks, that is, those that come with the bike when you first buy it. So if you don't want to lose your bike, make sure it's locked properly.
So if you take the necessary precautions, you can avoid being an easy target for motorcycle thieves.
But if your vehicle does get stolen, report immediately to the police with full details. Give us your vehicle's registration number, make, model, color and any other distinguishing features. This will help us look out for it and prevent it from getting out of the country.
You shouldn't just take the security of your vehicle for granted. You should also consider your safety whilst riding on the road. Good riding habits are just as important to ensure you have a safe ride.
Accidents involving motorcyclists decreased by 251 from 3,412 cases in 1993 to 3,211 cases in 1994. a decrease of 7.3%.
Unfortunately, in the first 6 months of this year, such incidents have gone up again. 64 motorcyclists and pillion riders died on the road, compared with 52 for the same period last year. So how can you ride safe and stay alive?
It certainly is one of the most popular means of getting around. Many are allured by its speed and sense of freedom, but with the thrill and excitement comes the dangers. Motorcyclists and pillion riders continue to be the most vulnerable group of road users. Two motorcyclists and pillion riders die in road traffic accidents every week. And more than 50% of those who suffered serious injuries are motorcyclists. The most common cause of accidents is the failure to have proper control of the motorcycle due to speeding. Do not speed. It reduces one's ability to react to the ever-changing traffic conditions. Failure to look out for hidden vehicles or turning without care is taking unnecessary risk. Other common causes of accidents include disobeying traffic signals, overtaking dangerously, and riding under the influence of alcohol. Do not tailgate or follow the vehicle in front too close. The rider won't have enough time to stop if the vehicle in front brakes suddenly. The pillion rider is also vulnerable, if not more so. Out of the fatal motorcycle accidents in 1994, 21 involved pillions. 41 suffered serious injuries. The pillion rider should ride in a posture in coordination with the rider. Otherwise, it might affect the balance of the motorcycle, and this could result in an accident. Wear proper riding attire like this to give some kind of protection against abrasions and cuts should you skid and fall. A safety helmet is a must.
The more severe injuries that we see are usually involving the head and neck, and these are the ones that are usually fatal. Subsequently, they may have injuries involving the chest and the abdomen, as well as the pelvis. These are also dangerous to the patient because if they are not treated fast enough, they will also die. Ankle and heel flap injuries are very disastrous. They can leave the patient with a very painful and deformed foot, so much so that even with reconstructive surgery, they may not be able to walk properly ever again. And for a young person, this is absolutely disastrous.
So it's worth keeping to the safety rules, like slowing down at traffic lights. Even if the vehicle in front fails to give way, there's time to stop. Always ride in the center of the lane and don't squeeze in between lanes. Do not weave in and out. And always be alert for vehicles which you can't see when traveling behind large vehicles such as lorries or buses. Motorcyclists should have their headlights on all the time to increase their visibility on the roads.
From 1st November this year, motorcyclists will be required by law to switch on their headlights day or night as long as they're on the road. And by 1997, all newly registered motorcycles will have to be fitted with an automatic switch-on device for their headlights.
And remember, it's really everyone's responsibility to drive safely. If you drive a car, pay more attention to the motorcyclist next to you. And if you ride a bike, do take extra care.
Next, a robbery at the Jurong Fish Market on Tuesday, the 20th of June this year. You may be able to help us find the missing puzzle. Welcome back. On 20th June this year, a robbery took place at the Jurong Fish Market. Piecing together information gathered so far, this is what we think happened.
Police believe this is what happened. It was 7:30 in the morning on the 20th of June this year. 37-year-old Tan Ha Po had just finished auctioning off his daily supply of chilled prawns at the Jurong Central Fish Market. He had collected the day's takings and was on his way to his office at the administrative block about 100 meters away. But he decided first to stop by his car to deposit the plastic container filled with coins. According to an eyewitness, a maroon car with license plate number SBE 8171 was last seen driving off.
The robbers got away with $30,000 in cash and $100,000 worth of crossed checks. They were seen leaving the scene in a maroon Honda Accord, plate number SBE 8171L. The car was recovered 4 days later at the car park of Block 31 Teban Gardens. The number plate was discovered to be false. The first man was believed to be in his 30s, about 1.79 meters tall, medium built and had straight, normal length hair. He was wearing a purple t-shirt and had a revolver with him.
If you saw the robbery or anyone fitting these descriptions loitering around the Jurong Fish Market on the morning of 20th of June this year, please call us on our hotline 1-800-225-0000. All information will be kept strictly confidential.
Also, if you saw anyone loitering around or leaving a red car with a license plate number, once again, SBE 8171L at the car park of Block 31 Teban Gardens on the 20th of June this year, please call us.
The car was reported stolen from the car park of Block 93 Whampoa Drive on 10th June between 12:45 to 7:25 a.m. The number once again, 1-800-225-0000.
Well, that's it for Crime Watch tonight. See you again next month. Good night.
Good night.
Hello, police.
Hello and welcome to Crime Watch. I'm Naraza Ismail and this is my co-host ASP Obek Kam.
Hello.
Tonight we look into the disturbing trend in juvenile delinquents and the problems of increasing teenage gangsterism.
The police also seeks your help in solving the senseless murder of a housewife in a lift at Ang Mo Kio Avenue 5 and any information on the assailant of 2 Japanese tourists at Mandarin Hotel on Tuesday the 8th of August this year.
Before that, we look at the murder of teenager Kwa Chi Hong, which led to the arrest and conviction of 8 youths.
Going to a discotheque is for many a youngster a favourite way to spend an evening. For many, a weekend will not be complete without it. But for 16-year-old Kwa Chi Hong, a visit to the disco ended in his death in February last year. Teenage love and jealousy lay at the heart of this tragedy.
A tea dance at a local discotheque. With the no alcohol rule, having fun could not be safer. Well, maybe not.
不想找我男朋友？我没有抢你的男朋友。没有抢男朋友。我看到你跟他在一起 ，OK？ 是他自己来靠近我的。他靠近你，你还跟他手拉手啊？他缠着你。
Serene Tan was not having any fun. She was angry that her boyfriend had left her for Lim Xiao Mui.
我在等，我会还我牙。小妹，小妹 ，Are you alright？ 小妹。
A Kwa was angry that his new girlfriend had been ill-treated. He also realized that the conflict was far from resolved. This was a quarrel that started 5 days ago. Kwa managed to ward off the attack, but by turning to violence, it was only to make the situation worse. Serene Tan was determined to make them suffer. This Saturday tea dance provided an opportunity for Serene to take revenge. She had complained to some secret society members who frequented the place that she had been bullied by Kwa. Already they were keeping an eye on him.
Huh? What you want? You my friend ah? Salah kau ah, or what?
Relax,
Say where you
okay.
want? Huh?
Relax lah.
Me? Fight where? You what?
Desmond Ong was a member of the Seo Gi Ho secret society. Serene Tan was his sworn sister.
What? One. Come here, where one? Fight ah? Huh? One. What's that, Talia? So what now?
Okay, take it easy, okay? I buy your cigarettes. My treat, okay?
Better see you after dance, okay? Better turn up. Meet me, okay? Go.
Desmond would not be paid off that easily. He wanted to make Kwa pay for bullying the girls. The situation was out of control, but for Kwa it seemed that there was little choice. If he failed to turn up for the meeting later, Desmond would track him down anyway, and it would probably mean he could never come to the discotheque again. Although he was injured, Kwa did not go home immediately, fearing his parents. So by the time he reached home and sought medical treatment, it was already too late. Kwa Chi Hong died the next day of brain injuries.
Within a week, the police rounded up 18 youths for questioning. 8 were subsequently charged in court, including Desmond Ong and Serene Tan. Given their age, they received sentences ranging from 3 years probation to commitment to the reformative training centres.
We managed to trace Desmond Ong, who is now 18 years old and still serving his probation. We spoke to him and bring you his story.
Desmond Ong is now 18 years old. For the past 2 years, he has been on probation. Desmond now realizes he has been given a second chance at life, a life that took a turn for the worse when he dropped out of school at Secondary 1.
When I was 13 years old, my friend encouraged me to join a secret society. Maybe it was for fun, and proud because that it was such a big group when going out just for fun. Every Saturday, if there's any fights, we will join in.
This was just another Saturday fight for Desmond. It didn't matter to him that Kwa was a total stranger.
And just to teach him a lesson, beat him up, and like ask him not to beat up the girls, and don't like stare at others for nothing. Don't really quite believe that he died. Yeah, because we didn't use any weapons, just hands and legs. And the next day he died. Yeah, it was like shock.
Desmond is still trying to come to terms with the fact that he had killed someone.
After that case onwards, yeah, when I think back, will regret, sad and guilty, because it's no fun hurting somebody else.
But then he was caught in a cycle of mindless violence and even fear.
Too scared to talk to my parents and the police. Scared the secret society will like come after me. It is easier to join in a secret society, but hard to get out. I was beaten up and forced not to leave the secret society.
Desmond is now trying to put the pieces of his life together. He's enrolled in a technical course in hopes to lead a normal life.
This case really changed my whole life. Before time, have to go home. I have to report to MCD once a month. And it makes me want to study other subjects and leave secret society.
We go for a break now. When we come back, more on street corner gangs and their activities. What can be done to arrest this disturbing trend amongst teenagers? Stay with us.
Welcome back. Desmond Ong and his group of friends became involved with the secret society at an early age. They were not alone. Over the last 5 years, the number of juveniles involved in street corner gangs and secret societies still remain high.
In fact, for the first half of this year, 144 juveniles were arrested for such involvement. This is an increase from 87 juveniles for the same period last year, and the number has been increasing each year for the past 5 years.
Street corner gangs are loosely organized. Some adopt the names of older secret societies. They are far less cohesive, yet they still pose a threat to law and order.
Members tend to gather in groups at illegal billiard halls, discotheques and at shopping centres. That in itself may not be a problem, but they also tend to get into fights with other rival groups. This has resulted in serious injuries and even death, as in the case featured earlier. We met up with some youths who were once members of gangs to understand this alarming trend.
What are you looking at?
They are young and they are restless, looking for fun, adventure and a sense of danger. Asing and Atik knew that feeling. Just last year, they were part of this crowd. With their gang, they used to comb the streets, looking for trouble. But no longer these days. Now under police supervision, they have to be home before 7 in the evening. That's a punishment for their past involvement in a secret society since 1991. They were then 15 years old and still in school. Several of their schoolmates who were close to them were hanging out with a group of teenage gangsters. Soon, Asing and Atik were asked to join the gang, and the two boys agreed.
Don't drink so much, Asing. Yeah.
This was the start of the criminal and secret society activities for the next 3 years. With a gang for protection, Asing began to behave boldly. He got into trouble with the police on many occasions, and he was involved in a number of gang fights as well. The fight usually started after a staring incident or over trivial reasons like disliking someone's looks. When there was no fight, they went out looking for one.
我们是去咖啡店那边做啦，然后好像有一帮流氓啊问我们是哪里的什么，叫我们出去后面讲，他们好像很过分啊，好像多人欺负少人啊， then 我们不服嘛，then 我们就打起来，好，then 最后我们又再去打。他们喜欢多人欺负少人，我们就叫多人去打他们咯。他们喜欢这样玩，我们跟他玩咯。
Street fights are swift attacks, and it didn't take the police long to track these youths down. Ron used to be a gang member until last February, when he was also arrested for being involved in a gang fight.
2-3 years ago, when I was still in my secondary school, there was this guy who supposedly to be a gangster. He sort of put me in, you see, and follow him around, be with him, and go out have fun and all that, drinking, smoking. At the time we were underage, you see.
Ron was then studying in one of the better-known secondary schools. His parents were both professionals and gave him everything money could buy, but was left on his own most of the time. He joined a secret society, and this affected his schoolwork and his O-level results that year.
It took out a certain part of my time, you see. So if I've used that part of my free time to study, obviously I would have gotten better grades, you see. I tend to fail 1 or 2 subjects, maybe 3 at most. But before that, I don't normally fail.
You can judge by the look and the behaviors, the language they use. The ones who are more into the gangs already, you know, they tend to be more suspicious, and then they will, you know, whenever they arrive to the place, they will check it out, you know, are there any rival gangs, any policemen around? As to get to know them more, closer, they start to talk about sense of brotherhood, solidarity, in Chinese, 义气.
In the first 6 months of this year, 131 students were arrested for secret society activities. This problem exists even in the better-known schools. So why do they join gangs?
For protection-wise, for fun, they're bored. I mean, they're really bored sometimes. They find this gang stuff really interesting. I mean, you can go out beating people. It gives them a sense of power, you see. Sense of thrill is there, you see.
I'm warning you. If you continue
Those who are known to have secret society links will be called up by CID and warned in the presence of their parents.
Mr. and Mrs. Tan, your son is here because of his...
There are certain telltale signs which parents should be aware of.
If the parents start to observe the children getting poorer, school results, losing interest in schools, and they skip classes, especially if they lie about skipping classes, and they have more school disciplinary problems, that is a warning sign already. And if you know that they have been coming home late after school, and they tend to go out quite often, especially hearing a call from a friend at night, and then they have to go out. And especially important is that when you see them hanging around on the void decks, then it's another big warning. Also, they become more secretive in the activities, right? If they try to hide the bruises and wounds, then you know that, okay, there may be trouble.
After the warning at CID, these youths will also be taken on a prison visit to see the harsh realities of prison life. And if arrested a second time, severe action will be taken against them, even to be detained without trial.
It's like some kind of shock treatment given to you, see. Like, you do this and you end up here. Nobody want to end up in Changi prison, correct? I think it's pretty effective. No, I told myself I'm not coming here.
不敢出门哦，整天在家，差不多2个星期、1个月这样，没有朋友嘞，没有地方去嘞，在家也很闷，又跟朋友出去玩哦，久了就一直缠他们哦。
Before long, Asing and Atik went back to their gang, but the law soon caught up with them again. At this time, they are placed under strict police supervision, which means they have to remain indoors from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. daily and to report to a police station once a week.
First, have the will to get out, okay? And tell yourself, don't go down to their coffee shop or whatever, their headquarters or whatever. Try to distance yourself away from them. Change your phone number if you have to. If you really can't do anything about it, go to police.
Staying away from a gang is like kicking a drug habit. You need to find ways to occupy yourself, right? Then to also build up a new friendship network. So The rehabilitation requires a caring and supportive family.
It's been about a year since Asing and Atik were detained by the police. Wiser now, they realize the folly of their past actions.
警方规划他，最好是不要在外面打架惹事，还有最重要的是不要参加黑社会。不要像我们这样啊，我们现在每个人都会怕的嘛，会进监狱这些，不想让父母担心啊。父母都养你这么大，现在要等享福嘛，你要会想一点啊，最好是不要。
For youths who are secret society members and have been involved in fights, don't think that you can get away. An efficient information network enables us to round up the culprits in no time. And for those who wish to get out, they could approach their parents, school, or the police for help. We assure you that your identities will be kept confidential.
Well, key to nipping the problem in the bud is parents themselves being concerned about what their children are up to. Parents are advised to monitor their children's activities and peers. Keep them occupied with healthy activities by encouraging them to participate in school activities.
Parents can also observe telltale signs such as sudden change in behavior, like neglecting school assignments, which may lead to poor performance, and constantly remind their children of the consequences of joining gangs.
Next up, how you can help us in two cases which remain unsolved: the murder of a housewife in a lift and the rape-cum-robbery case at an Orchard Road hotel. Stay with us. Welcome back. On Tuesday, the 8th of August this year, at about 9:30 in the evening, two female Japanese tourists returned from a sightseeing tour to their hotel. They were attacked by a man at the doorway of their hotel room. He then forced them into the room, assaulted them, and raped one of the women. He made his escape 3 hours later with $1,750 in cash.
We are anxious to contact this person. He is described as having a tan complexion, about 1.7 meters tall, of stout build. He has wavy collar-length hair. He's between 20 to 30 years old. Anyone with information on his whereabouts can contact the police hotline at 1-800-225-0000. That's 1-800-225-0000.
The police is also looking for information which may help to solve the murder of Madam Kwek Lee Ha, which happened on Tuesday, the 5th of September this year, at Block 537, Ang Mo Kio Avenue 5. On that tragic morning, 48-year-old Madam Kwek Lee Ha woke her husband. She wanted to go to the market and asked him to look after their daughter. She was then wearing a white round-necked t-shirt and a pair of navy blue shorts. She also wore some jewelry. At about 10:40 a.m., she made her way home to Block 537 Ang Mo Kio Avenue 5. She walked to the lift lobby and took lift B to the 6th floor. The man then ran out of the lift and escaped from one of the 5 staircases in Block 537. Madam Kwek died from stab wounds.
This tragedy is a very big blow to my life. For the last 4 weeks, I never sleep well. I keep on thinking of what happened, thinking of see her images, and the countless drop of tears shed. It may happen to anybody. I still do not believe that it happened to my family.
Police seeks information from anyone who might have seen Madam Kwek returning from the market and being followed by a person into the lift, or of any suspicious person loitering at the void deck, or if anyone saw the culprit fleeing from the scene at about 10:50 that morning.
If you have any information which may assist the police in their investigations in arresting the culprit, please call the police hotline at 1-800-225-0000. That's 1-800-225-0000. All information will be kept strictly confidential.
The murder of Madam Kwek can happen to anyone, So, if you're living in a high-rise building, please take the necessary precautions when taking the lift. For instance, be wary of strangers loitering at lift lobbies. Do not carry excessive cash or wear too much jewelry. And, should you be confronted by a robber, do not resist. Remember, your safety is more important.
Well, police are also working with HDB to improve the security of lifts and lift lobbies. Vision panels on lifts will become a standard feature in all upgraded and new HDB blocks. HDB is also looking into the possibility of installing closed-circuit cameras and access control to lift lobbies. With all these measures, we hope that a similar crime could be prevented. Well, that's it for Crimewatch tonight.
Join us again for the next episode of Crimewatch. Until then, have a good weekend.
Good night.
Hello, police.
Good evening, welcome to Crimewatch. I'm Noraza Ismail and this is my co-host ASP Obek Kam.
Hello. In this episode, we'll take a look at the unsolved murder of Tam Tin Tak.
We'll also be exposing the tricks of con men and what you and your family can do to avoid being a victim.
But first, the brutal murder and gang attack in Marsiling on 14th December 1990 and how the police solved the case.
Hey, so the police will never catch us.
14 December 1990, a nightmare for many.
Please confirm, a male Indian has been pronounced dead.
1 dead and 5 seriously injured. They all had one thing in common. They were at the wrong place at the wrong time. They were innocent passers-by.
It was right here that Siva Pragasam died from excessive bleeding. He had suffered multiple stab wounds and a fatal gash on his head. All the other injured persons were passers-by who had no idea who their assailants were or why they were attacked. And all that the police knew was that it was a gang attack. Beyond that, there were few clues as to what really happened.
Can you tell us what happened?
Even those who were attacked couldn't offer any additional information. Crimewatch talked to one such injured passerby. He was on his way home from his Christmas shopping when he was attacked. The attack has affected his chances of starting a family.
It's already ruined my life, you know. I think like it's waste already. Now I can't get married. The whole thing is destroyed, right? So it's not worth getting married. You shouldn't do to a good person. You all fight, you all go fight, but don't come and destroy innocent people's lives. And now you see my life is wasted. Another 4 guys, one got a kidney problem, I think. One guy got, they removed 1 kidney.
Hey, man.
Investigation started right here at the scene of crime.
Martin, I want you to conduct inquiries from the resident around, see whether anybody see anything, okay?
The murder scene at Marsiling Drive was found to be the operating ground of a gang which used the name of a defunct secret society, Gi Leng Ho. Inspector Low Hock Peng of the Special Investigation Section and officers from the Secret Society's branch formed the investigating team. For the next 2 weeks, the team worked through the night conducting inquiries. Several raids, codenamed Mini Operation Eagle, were mounted at the Marsiling Drive. More than 20 secret society members were picked up for questioning. but the team still couldn't make much headway. The raids were subsequently extended to Jurong, Yishun and Serangoon. In total, more than 100 secret society members were rounded up for questioning.
Where were you that night?
I was at home.
But all those rounded up gave different versions of the attack.
We have seen you before.
After extensive interviews, the team narrowed their focus to a gang that was operating at Taman Jurong Market. But beyond that, none of the 100 members picked up were able to shed light on who were involved in the attack. The gang responsible had done a good job in covering up.
When was the last time you met your gang members? I don't know anything, sir. I wasn't there. I wasn't involved.
But the team did not give up. Their extensive enquiries soon paid off when they re-interviewed one of the gang members a month after the attack. This time, they established that the assailants were from a gang operating at Taman Jurong. The team also found out about Tan, the person who helped the gang rent a van for the attack.
Through Tan, the team confirmed that one Kuna Segaran was involved in the gang attack. His arrest led to the arrest of 14 other members of the gang.
But of the 14 gang members arrested, 7 were under 18 years of age and some were as young as 15. What happened? Why were they involved?
I was a 15-year-old student at the time of the incident. My parents were divorced and there was no one to guide me of what was right and what was wrong. My gang leader was very good to me. He bought me drinks, food, cigarettes. And he told me the benefit of joining the secret society, and I did join.
The younger members were recruited into the gang through the use of simple treats like cigarettes.
Then how's yours?
25-year-old Segar was the head man of the gang. After he took over the leadership, he wanted to attract more young people. He began making friends with young students and luring them into the group. Soon he had 40 members under him. The problem started in early 1990 when Nagan Tharan, a member of Segar's gang, met other members of a rival group. They tried recruiting him.
I got my people already. I don't want to see your face here. Understand? Hopefully I don't see your face here. Yes, lah.
Nagan Tharan complained to the group about the threats, but they didn't take him seriously. Nagan Tharan continued to be harassed by the rival group. At first, the senior members of the group thought nothing of it.
Stop first. We all we celebrate first. You don't talk first. Come.
It wasn't until another member, Mahindran, threatened to leave the group and other members showed signs of doing the same that the senior members decided to do something to appease the group. On 8th December, they planned an attack on the rival group, but it was aborted as they couldn't get any vehicle. Instead, they sharpened their weapons. With Tan's help, the group managed to get a vehicle on the 14th of December. Meanwhile, members of the rival gang heard about the planned attack and made themselves scarce. When the gang arrived, they saw instead a group of Indian boys sitting at a table. They were assumed to be members of the rival gang. The gang attacked anybody who was in their way. At that time, Siva Prakasam was sending his friend to the bus stop when he was attacked. Gabriel, on the other hand, was on his way home.
I stay here.
After the brutal attacks, some young members questioned whether they had got the right targets. No one really knew.
Hey, you think Gilang Hall written on their head, is it?
It took a month of investigation for the police to establish the identities of all the 14 members. All were arrested and convicted. They were sentenced as follows. Sega was sentenced to death after being found guilty of murder. The rest were convicted of rioting and causing grievous hurt with dangerous weapons. Moses and Nagantharan were sentenced to 3.5 years imprisonment each. Brendan, Silva Kumar, Sheikh Abdul Kadir and Lee Thiam Soon were each given 4 years and 3 strokes of the cane. The rest were only 15 years old at the time of the offence. They were each given 31 months imprisonment.
After the incident, I could not sleep. I was scared because the police will put me behind bars and I didn't want to go into prison. I regretted and I still regretting of what had happened. It's not worth it to join in secret society and you'll waste your life.
It's disturbing to see teenagers involved in such senseless and violent crimes where innocent bystanders become victims. Youngsters who resort to violence and think they can get away with leniency because of their age will have to think again. Police will come down hard on them regardless of age. Police will be tough just as they are tough on other criminals. So don't get involved in gangs, but if you already are and wish to get out, you can contact the head of the Secret Societies branch CID at this number 3266-347 and after office hours at 323-0000. The number again 3266-347 and after office hours at 323-0000. This was a tragic case of mistaken identity. A group of innocent passers-by were brutally attacked by a gang who had no idea who they were after. What's more alarming is the involvement of teenagers in violent crimes. Out of the 14 members, 7 were below 18 years old.
We'll take a break now. When we come back, we look at some cheating cases and how you can avoid being cheated. Stay with us.
Welcome back. We now take a look at confidence tricksters. They pretend to be your friend, relative, salesman or repairman, but with one motive on their mind, to cheat you of your money.
Well, according to statistics given by the police, confidence tricksters comprise the majority of cheating cases in both 1994 and 1995. Last year alone, there were 939 cases, more than half of all cheating cases.
These conmen use a variety of methods to cheat their victims. In the following story, 3 tricksters, Muhammad Isa, Muhammad Aspri and Ismail bin Pato Rasi, tricked their victims into believing in the magical powers of a talisman.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Boleh tumpang tanya, kompleks membeli belah di sini di mana?
Belah ya?
Iya.
Kurang pasti ya?
Kurang pasti ya.
Muhammad Aspri pretended he did not know Muhammad Isa and offered to help. The third accomplice, Ismail bin Pathol Razi, was keeping watch.
Okay, terima kasih, Pak ya.
Sama-sama. Apa tu, Pak? Tak apa ya?
Barang apa ni?
Tak. Barangnya kok hitam.
Barangnya bagus ni. Azimat.
Azimat apa?
Barang azimat.
Betul ke?
Iya.
Tak, saya tak tahu.
Kita pergi sana tanya orang tu.
Orang tu?
Yang tadi.
Okey, tarik.
Balik, hitam. Bang. Lagi bang. Barang apa ni bang? Barang apa yang abang kasi ni?
Muhammad Isa claimed that the talisman would endow the owner with magical powers. He then proceeded to demonstrate the power of the talisman. He used the sharp end of a blade to cut the victim's hair and then manipulated the blunt end to slash his arm.
Lihat.
tidak ada apa-apa. Kalau saya minta Bapak uang untuk ini, Bapak sanggup tak?
Boleh.
10 ringgit. Tak ada apa, tidak apa. Tidak apa. Saya tidak mau uang Anda. Bapak pula bagaimana? Bapak sanggup tak Bapak?
Bagus barang ni.
Uang juga saya bisa jampi. Uang ini akan berganda. Tapi Bapak harus pusing di belakang.
Kenapa masih pusing belakang?
Kalau
pusing
tidak,
depan tak boleh?
Tidak, zimat ini tidak akan menjadi. Kalau Bapak pusing belakang, zimat ini akan lagi kuat lagi.
Pusing belakang?
Iya. Bapak pusing belakang.
Pusing.
Saya taruh dompet Bapak balik ya. Sekarang Bapak jalan 100 meter. Jangan pusing belakang, kalau tidak zimat ini tidak menjadi.
Meanwhile, Muhammad Aspri and Muhammad Isa made their way to the roadside where Ismail bin Pathol Razi had hailed a taxi. They thought they could make it this time, but they were wrong. Detectives who had been following them for some time moved in.
Muhammad Isa, Muhammad Aspri and Ismail bin Pathol Razi were charged and convicted for 19 cases of cheating.
Be wary of strangers. Don't be taken in by what they can offer you. This time it's a talisman with magical powers. Next time it could be a magic stone. So if you suspect anything, inform the nearest NPP with details of the culprit.
Cheating through the phone is another method commonly used by conmen. They pretend to be a friend or relative, and they usually prey on the elderly and housewives who are alone at home. This is what happened in one incident.
Hello?
Hello, Auntie, 你好冇？
你是谁啊？谁啊？
你炒几点？
你啊？阿顺对无？
对啦，Auntie，安怎你真假？哎呦！
安怎你安尼久无来？
我最近我真无闲做工。
安尼款哈？有闲来做咯。
Lee Keng Sing pretended to be Madam Tan's nephew Asun. He asked her for a loan of $3,000 to purchase some spare parts for a shipment to Indonesia. He promised to return the loan by the end of the month. Lee Keng Sing also told Madam Tan that he was too busy to collect the money personally. He would send a friend to collect the money on his behalf.
Auntie, 我是阿順嘅朋友，你嗰啲嘢你。
你是阿順嘅朋友啊？
是啊。
好。
依家做物件。
你叫阿順錄影起來做哈？
咁就Auntie嗬。
4 days later, Lee Keng Sing called Madam Tan again and asked her for a further loan.
阿順啊，什麼代志無？什麼啊？我一日給你3000塊了，你轉過1500塊，安怎會安尼多錢？安尼款啊？安尼款無你等者，我看我有安尼多位無？你過5分鐘你卡起來啦，
Madam Tan became suspicious. She decided to call her nephew Asun. It was then that she realized she had been duped.
Hello? 請問阿順對無？你就是阿順啊？
Madam Tan immediately made a report at the neighborhood police post. The police advised Madam Tan to inform them should the conman call again. On the following day, Madam Tan received another call from Lee Keng Sing.
Hello? Asuna? 安尼款哈？好啦，等2點半咯，你叫你的朋友來樓下等我吼。好 ，OK。
Madam Tan immediately called the police.
Lee Keng Sing was subsequently caught by the police. Further investigations revealed that Lee Keng Sing had committed 8 other similar cases involving the elderly. The total sum of money he cheated amounted to almost $11,000. Lee Keng Sing was charged and sentenced to 5 years imprisonment.
The police advise the public to be more wary of such con men. They often prey on those left alone at home, especially the elderly. Here's some advice. Check and verify with other family members in order to find out if the caller is genuine, especially when money is involved. Do not act on the call if you're not sure. Wait for the return of someone in the family. If you have elderly people or housewives who are at home alone, discuss with them what to do should such situations occur. Call the police for assistance.
Another way in which conmen persuade their victims into giving them money is through promises of cheap goods or quick returns. This was how Tan Hock Ben cheated his victims.
棒，好久不见，好久不见，近来好吗？还不错啊，合不合？搞了些小生意，有没有空一起喝咖啡？喝咖啡啊？什么事？有点好东西介绍给你。好东西啊，好吧，怎么？
At the drinking session, Tan Hock Ben told his friend he had a forex investment scheme which could earn good returns. He asked his friend whether he was interested in joining the scheme. His friend was finally convinced. 2 days later, he handed over a sum of $1,200 to Tan Hock Ben.
你数数看。 对了，好，这是钱靠你了，不用怕，你回家等我好消息吧，好吧？
The victim never heard from Tan again.
Tan Hock Ben has since been arrested and charged for 43 cases of cheating, 1 case of attempted cheating, and 7 cases of theft of ATM cards. He was sentenced to 6 years imprisonment.
Be careful of those who promise you handsome profits in a short time.
Don't be taken in so easily. There's no such thing as quick money. If you have any doubts, call the police.
We take a break now. When we come back, details of a crime still unsolved. Police need your help.
Welcome back. About 2 months ago, on Monday, March the 18th, 23-year-old Malaysian Tam Tin Tak was attacked by 3 men outside Golden Landmark building after shopping. Tam Tin Tak died a week later. Here are the details.
It was about 5:40 in the afternoon when Tam Tin Tak was seen running down the staircase of Golden Landmark building facing Victoria Street. 3 men were hot on his heels. At this junction, Tam Tin Tak made a turn and ran towards Ophir Road. The 3 assailants gave up the chase. They ran across the road towards Victoria Street and disappeared into the crowd. Tam Tin Tak continued running along Ophir Road. He finally stopped at a shop house.
兄弟，兄弟，啊，
小拍，小拍，
来，我扶你寄佢先，嚟，我扶你寄佢先，我你寄到。
The proprietor then called the police, who arrived within minutes. Tam Tin Tak told the police that he had been attacked for no apparent reason. Tam Tin Tak went into a coma. He survived a week before he finally succumbed to his injuries.
Tam Tin Tak's possessions were intact. The motive for the attack remains unknown. On March the 18th at around 5:40 in the afternoon, someone called the police reporting that there were 3 men fighting with bottles outside Golden Landmark building. We would like to contact him. If you have any information on the 3 men, please call the police hotline at 1-800-225-0000. That's 1-800-225-0000. All information will be kept strictly confidential.
Well, that's it for Crime Watch tonight. Until the next episode, good night.
Good night.
please.
Good evening, welcome to another episode of Crimewatch. I'm Noraza Ismail and this is my co-host ASP Obekam.
Hello. The police rely on information and support from people like yourselves who make the difference in what we do, especially in helping to solve crimes. So we're glad to report that thanks to information received, we were able to arrest 2 suspects recently in a crime we highlighted in July.
In that episode, we called for eyewitnesses in a robbery which took place on 7th of June at Hougang, where 3 men robbed a jewel at knife point before taking off in the victim's car.
There's yet another case to solve with your help, but more of that later. First, we take a look at the murder of Sim Ah Lik, contractor by trade, illegal moneylender by choice. Butchered in broad daylight, his murderer thought that he had covered his tracks well, that there was nothing to tie him to the case. But dead men do tell tales, and the meticulous investigation of the police finally led to justice being served.
Kau ingin semit pun main kawal kau. Oh, okey. Toilet buat ingat. Okey.
That man came to our police post to make a report. He found a body here, and looks like the body has been hacked.
Any identification?
No.
Did you find anything else?
Just some tire mark there.
There was little else to go by. On a hunch, investigating officer Senior Staff Sergeant Lawrence Tay sent someone from his team to check the missing person's files.
Okay.
Their efforts were not wasted. They found a report, 1.6 meters tall, heavy-built Chinese man, 50 years old, missing since 14 July. The description seemed to fit that of the deceased. The missing man's wife, 44-year-old Chu Liao Ke, was brought in to help with the investigations.
伊昨日10點半出去，就是第尾擺我看到伊，伊無轉來，我真正擔心，所以我出去找，找到伊個車，都無人伫，我都make a report。
個車內面有拍破什麼物件，還是發現什麼物件無？
無咧，就是找到伊個電話，喺伊個車內面，是唔是找到我個翁呢？
Chu was brought to identify the body they had found earlier that morning.
伊是我查甫人，安尼。
Being able to identify the body was the first step to solving the crime. Alik's hand phone was to give the police an important lead. The last number to appear on his hand phone was found to have belonged to one Phua Soi Bun. He became Sergeant Tay's prime suspect. It was now a matter of tracking him down. They found Phua through his own older brother, who led the police to Phua's house.
CID 哦，我带你几日个咯？
几日伫厝无睡啊？
有影无？
有影。
文，你莫了阮的时间，你所做物件，阮拢总会知影了。
你靠电我200个啊
200个，200个安怎咧厝内电话会对伊？是嘛那个手电内面呢？
伊敲互我，我莫知伊电个。
文啊，咱聊正点了未？你想好势啊未？
我200个，你对我怎来讲？
你讲了一把不做一句讲的。
It was then that Sergeant Tay threw out his trump card. Hua was taken aback by the shots. He had won them during the murder. The police had got him there.
Alex 是装修厝的，伊嘛是放淡薄小的。该我最近跋叫输瑞，我先去借淡薄钱来还人。早起我敲电话。 叫2点半来我的厝，我就问伊，要10天来借？
借什么嘞？
我还你啊，我真欠用啦。
还什么？欠我22千块未还啊？还？
到时做摆还你啊？
免讲，免讲，我听到了应者。
我真欠用你，我是无变的。
出代志，有代志慢慢讲。救命！救命！
我是开2个地安本的，我快死了，我就也选择手指落咧下手表，伊个10千，但是荷包内面无钱来，无几条夹马路。 该回就留几头口，我夜婆切了水啊清去。
With the money stolen from our lake, Hua set off to settle his debts with several of his creditors. Next, Hua bought a gunny sack, some trash bags and rope. Back at home that night, along the way, Hua recruited an unsuspecting friend to help him carry the body onto the pickup. With the pickup borrowed from his friend, Hua drove the body to the car park behind Jurong Town Swimming Complex. Hua led the police to the scene of the crime.
也可以交店啊，码头了，伊个女也跋输去了。
如果再来骗，我人已经调查了，无这代志，你上好真实讲出来。啊，你个手表甲伊个手指咧，甲伊成万外块走路个。
Poir refused to give in, but the police wasn't about to give up either. Eventually, Poir broke down and led the police to recover Alik's watch, ring and money. The items were positively identified by his wife as belonging to the deceased, Sim Alik. Hua Soibun, unemployed, aged 36, was charged in court on 17 July 1993. After a 12-day trial, he was found guilty. On 16 June 1995, Hua Soibun was hanged for the murder of Sim Alik.
After the break, the misuse of Singapore international passports and police efforts to put a stop to it. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The Singapore passport is well respected by the international community and has become an item of value. A cause for concern is the sale of Singapore passports to syndicates involved in illegal human trafficking.
One of the reasons for targeting at Singapore international passports is their easy access to countries like Canada and Germany, which do not require a visa from Singapore passport holders. Singapore is also a cosmopolitan city with strategic air links used by syndicate members as a stopover for illegal human trafficking.
Those who trade in illegal passports like this one have also the capability to replace the individual photos, which can sometimes pass through immigration offices without them realizing that these passports have actually been tampered with. Singaporeans tempted by the offer of money have become involved in these illegal transactions. If not stopped, this could easily tarnish the prestige and confidence in our international passports and may cause inconvenience for Singaporeans who go overseas.
Sometime in September 1993, Cheong Wai Kiong bumped into his old friend Bak Pak Leong at Shenton Way. After making sure that Bak was really in financial difficulty, Cheong asked him to help look for people who are willing to sell their Singapore international passports, and in turn Bak could earn some commission. Bak accepted the suggestion and they agreed to meet again when he found available passports ready for sale. A few days later, Bak decided that he could make some money from his own passport and arranged to meet up with Cheong. Bak also brought along a friend, Chong, whom he had persuaded to sell his passport.
Yang passport kat siap ya. Iwai, apa lagi? Kau cek nak kau, semua mai ha. Sai, masuk.会发了，差不多。啊，对啊，对。各位你名和地址啦，有什么代志我来contact你人哈。
Bak and Chong also provided their addresses and telephone numbers, as these, together with photographs, were necessary when applying for visas. A few days after meeting Cheong, Bak and Chong turned up at Yuhua NPP and reported that they had lost their passports.
This copy for report, and this is for Mr. Chong. Right now, you can proceed to...
With the police report, they proceeded to apply for the new passports at the Singapore immigration. A few weeks after Buck and Chong applied for their visas at the US Embassy, an officer at the embassy performed a random check on the visa applications. He detected that there were altogether 35 applications with similar handwriting. Buck and Chong's visa applications were among them. The applications were made on behalf of a travel agency. On checking with the travel agency, he found out that the applications were false. The discovery led to police investigation. With the addresses and phone numbers on the visa application forms, Buck was called out by the police to assist in the investigation. Chong was also called up. They subsequently admitted to their illegal passport sales to Chong.
Yeah, I sold the passport to someone bought it for me.
Cheong, who was later identified as a runner of the passport syndicate, was arrested. He also admitted that he was responsible for buying 19 other Singapore international passports. The passports and visas were to be used for illegal human trafficking. Cheong Wai Keong was charged in court for 20 counts of abetment of cheating by making false visa applications to the US Embassy. He was sentenced to a total of 48 months jail term. He's still serving his imprisonment term. Buck Pak Leong faced 4 charges and was sentenced to 6 months jail for criminal breach of trust by selling his passport. He was jailed 3 months for making a false report to the police. Chong Chi Ha was sentenced to 12 months imprisonment for criminal breach of trust and 3 months for making a false report.
The Singapore passport is the property of the government entrusted to the holder for the purpose of travelling. Anyone who abuses the use of his passport will have committed an offence of criminal breach of trust and can be punished with a maximum jail term of 3 years or fine or both. If he makes a false report, he could face a maximum jail term of 6 months or a maximum fine of $1,000 or both. If, after making a false report, he applies for a new passport, he is also liable for an offence of cheating under the Penal Code and could be jailed up to a maximum of 7 years and can also be fined.
He may also not be issued a replacement passport.
The police advises all who hold a Singapore international passport to keep them safely. Don't leave it in your car or unattended in your bag and luggage, especially when travelling overseas. When travelling, it may be safer to keep your passport instead of leaving it with the tour agent. At least check on its whereabouts. It is safer to keep your passport in the hotel safe deposit box.
If you lose your passport, make an immediate report at any NPP or police station. We take a break now. When we return, we seek your help in an unsolved case, so stay with us.
Welcome back. On Saturday, 2 months ago, a robbery causing hurt took place in an office at Robinson Road. If you happen to be in Hong Leong Centre or along Robinson Road around 12 p.m. on 6th of July, you might have information which could help the police. This is what happened.
It was a Saturday on the 12th floor of Hong Leong Centre. A man who called himself Mohan introduced 3 potential investors to Mr. Tan, the trade director of a commodity investment company. They were supposed to meet and discuss some investment projects, although that was an off day for the company. The investors claimed to be from Malaysia. During the discussion, they requested for their Malaysian notes to be changed into 30,000 Singapore dollars. Mr. Tan agreed to arrange for a money changer to meet them at the office.
So, what is the rate going on for Malaysian dollar? So, what's the rate going on? What's the rate for change?
Mohan left to make contact with another money changer. Using the company's name, Mohan claimed that he needed to change his US dollars to 63,500 Singapore dollars and asked the money changer to meet him at the office. In the meantime, back at the office,
Quiet! Don't go! All right? Don't go! Quiet!
they also seized another company director who was working in the other room. At 12 noon, money changer Muhammad Farooq arrived at the office with the money requested for. Farooq was surprised when Bashir, another money changer, showed up.
You also here? Yeah. Oh, they called me to change some money.
They chatted briefly.
This morning they called me.
They called me around 11:30.
They called you 11:30?
Yeah.
So, you see... Okay.
Bashir decided to find out what was holding them up at the reception. He was shocked to see the company director being held captive. He straightaway ran for the door. Bashir managed to escape by the stairs, but Farooq was not as lucky. In the struggle, Farooq suffered cuts on his right palm. He was then dragged to the reception area where he was robbed of his cash, all $63,500. The robbers also tied Farooq up. 3 of the gang robbers then took the lift to the ground floor and got away. The 4th was not seen and had probably fled by the stairs. The robbers were last seen dashing across Robinson Road, running along the passageway of Singapore Post branch office and disappearing into the back lane around MPH bookstore.
The police seek your help in providing information on the following people. Mohan, male Indian, late 30s, stout built, has a thick mustache, 1.68 meters tall. He was wearing a blue rolled-up long-sleeve shirt. Ganasan, male Indian in his late 30s, medium built, keeps a mustache, 1.75 meters to 1.80 meters tall. He was wearing a light-colored long-sleeve shirt. Raj, male, Indian, early 30s, medium built, 1.65 meters tall, very dark complexion and bushy eyebrows. He was wearing light-coloured shirt.
Police managed to put together the photo fit of the last culprit. Kamal, male Indian, 25 to 26 years old, stout built, about 1.7 meters tall. He was wearing a dark yellow shirt. The names used for the 4 suspects might not be their real names.
If you know anyone who fits these descriptions, or if you saw them dashing across Robinson Road on 6th of July at around 12:05 p.m, please come forward. You can call the police hotline at 1-800-225-0000. That's 1-800-225-0000. Your identity and all information provided will be kept strictly confidential. Don't forget, your call may help us solve the robbery. And if you want to know more about Crimewatch and about the Singapore Police Force, you can access our website at this address.
Well, that's it for Crimewatch tonight. Until next month, good night.
Good night.
Two cases of senseless violence involving youths killing 2 innocent and defenseless young boys in tonight's program. Hello there, I'm Noraza Ismail.
And I'm ASP Obed Kam. Welcome to Crimewatch. The number of juveniles arrested for violent crimes such as rioting, serious assault and unlawful assembly had more than doubled in the last 5 years, from 122 in 1992 to 282 last year. Although the statistics have shown a dip in the first half of this year, the young age of those arrested for violent crimes is still a concern.
Between January and June this year, 79 juveniles were arrested for rioting and causing serious hurt. They were only 16 years or below at the time of the offence. In these senseless shows of violence, innocent bystanders have lost their lives, like the 14-year-old in our first story, who happened to be sitting alone in a park when 39 youngsters descended on him.
14-year-old Ng Ban Sen was found semi-conscious in a park. Except for the marks on his back, there was no blood stain on him. Neither was there any weapon, nor any trail of the assailants to be found at the scene. At the outset, the police had nothing to work on. They went around the neighborhood in search of witnesses for leads. The team's intensive legwork finally paid off. In just 24 hours, the investigators had the breakthrough they needed. A big group of Chinese boys armed with sticks was seen at the park earlier that day. The sheer group size suggested secret society involvement. Officers with the secret society's branch were brought into the investigation.
We only got one boy, 14-year-old boy, is injured. Alright, he's in unconscious, critical stage. Alright, I went to the scene. There was no weapon, no blood stains, no eyewitnesses. We really don't know what happened.
They quickly tapped into their network of informants, people whose confidence the police had won. It turned out that they knew of a planned assault in that area on the day Ban Sen was beaten up. They were able to identify some boys who took part in it.
Police.
With the leads, the list of suspects were narrowed down to the rival group with secret society connections operating in that neighborhood.
Let's go.
The arrest of one led to another. Amongst them were the chief, their big brother, and his deputy. In less than 4 hours, 5 boys were brought back for investigation. They were all charged with rioting with dangerous weapons. Four days after the beating, Ban Sen succumbed to his injuries. He died not knowing why he was beaten, and the killers were in for a murder charge.
So you're the headman, right?
Sir.
So what happened?
The boys placed under remand at the CID realized the seriousness of what they had done. They told the police everything.
One of my members came and told me that they had some problem with another gang. They were chased by another gang at the basketball court.
4 of them were at the basketball court earlier that evening when they came across members from a rival gang armed with poles. Being outnumbered, the 4 of them took off without making a scene, but they were not about to forget what had happened. They went to their leader for help. The leader soon rounded up the rest of the gang for a revenge attack. In all, 39 members were mobilized. Packed into a minibus, the group was driven by a fellow member who worked in a transport company. The leader distributed rattan poles, each about a meter long, to his members. The group first checked out the coffee shop where their rival gang normally hung out, but they didn't see anyone they could identify. They then proceeded to the neighborhood park, another favorite haunt of their rival group. At the same time, Ban Sen was alone in the park. Nobody knew why he was there. By then, the group was so caught up in a frenzy that they were ready for action. Then they spotted Ban Sen. They fled and cleared out of the park within seconds, but the law soon caught up with them.
But a lot of members also start beating up. Then after that, we start beating him up. Then the whole gang started beating him up.
Is it proof, eh?
Sir. But I didn't mean to kill him.
But it was too late for regrets. A life was lost, and there are consequences to face. Over the next few days, all 39 who were involved were arrested and brought to justice. Some of them were students, as young as 13 years old. 7 of the gang members, including the ringleaders, were charged with culpable homicide not amounting to murder. They pleaded guilty. Each of the 39 boys got a different sentence for the role they played and their age. The ringleaders, whose ages ranged from 17 to 20 years old, were sentenced to between 5 and 6.5 years imprisonment with 6 strokes of the cane. The other 32 boys were charged with rioting with dangerous weapons. They faced sentences ranging from 18 months probation to 2.5 years imprisonment with 3 strokes of the cane.
The intelligence network of the Secret Society's branch had led to the swift arrest of the 39 boys involved in the assault. The police were able to track down the suspects even by their nicknames. Most of them were already in the police records, including the ringleaders.
While the police are able to track them down when they get into trouble, what's important is preventing them from taking their first step in crime.
After the break, how youngsters get involved in gangs and what parents can do to help them.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back. The number of juveniles arrested for crimes has increased in recent years from 1,478 in 1992 to 2,101 last year. Although the latest statistics this year show that the problem is under control, juvenile delinquency is still high.
Tonight on Crimewatch, 2 boys who were arrested in a gang fight talk about their involvement in gang activities and why they were involved in violent crimes.
I regret what I do. I mean, the thing happened when I was teenagers, right? I don't think twice. I want to look mature, so I act violent, act strong, but actually I was nothing at that time. Now I know I'm looking for a future now. Teenager life really make me dispress myself.
Harun is now a 22-year-old working adult. He was released from prison 3.5 years ago, a consequence of his reckless actions when he was a teenager.
I'm quite busy also, no? Go back to school.
That was 6 years ago. Harun was 16 then and was studying at a vocational institute. He was a distinction student, but things began to go wrong when he came to know a group of friends he met at the Void Deck. Most of them were unemployed teenagers, except Hassan, a 28-year-old who used to ferry the group around in his employer's lorry. It was a group Harun soon grew attached to. He liked their friendly ways.
They introduced me, go out with them, go out happy, enjoy life. In a group of gang, so we look more like strong, you know, see. We start to don't care of other people. I mean, if any trouble come, we just go for it.
Ali was another member of the same gang. He was 17 then. Although his results were equally good, He gave up schooling for fun and adventure with the group.
Sometimes the weekends we go to tea dance at that time, like school, to enjoy, make fun of the people. Like this group of friends, I take out smoking and drinks. I always went home but late. If they want to overnight, I overnight. I just sometimes make a call, sometimes I don't call my parents.
Ali's mother, a housewife, was concerned. She was close to Ali, but was a little lenient with him. All she could do was to nag him.
Why are you late? Do you know what is the time now? Why are you always going out with a group of friends? Huh? Don't you know they're a bad influence to you?
She also tried to cover up Ali's misconduct from his father, who worked long hours.
What's going on?
You haven't been working. When are you going to get a job?
What happened to you? Huh?
I have to take care of myself.
You shut up, I tell you.
You're always nagging at me.
You shut up.
You shut up first.
How dare you say that, Alice? Huh?
Enough.
Ali's father was a strict man. The two parents differed in their parenting style. Though they tried to advise Ali, both were unable to deal with him. For Harun, it became worse when his mother passed away when he was 13. He took advantage of his father's busy schedule.
He worked in first and second shift, day and night sometimes, rotating shift. So when I was back home, he's not at home, so I cannot see him. He asked sometimes, but I can give 1,001 reason. I mean, the reason all is a fake one.
It was another of Harun and Ali's night outings. They, together with the gang, were having supper. It was past midnight and, as usual, they smoked and drank. They were earlier on at Orchard Road with another member, Ibrahim, before they lost sight of him in the crowd.
What's the code? Hey, what's the code? Rahim. Marina.
The group then left in Hassan's lorry to look for Ibrahim, who was at Marina. Meanwhile, Ibrahim was waiting anxiously. He was involved in a one-to-one fight with someone he knew over a trivial matter after he left the group at Orchard. He was in a foul mood.
Hey, where have you been? I'm looking for you all. You should look at my face. I will settle for you. I need a revenge.
Ibrahim told the group he was beaten up by an unknown gang and urged them to take revenge. The group was angry and so out of control that they were prepared to attack just about anyone, even a young boy sleeping at the bus stop. Under peer pressure, Harun and Ali joined in the fight.
We all want to show our brave or macho, like fighter like that. I was a bit drunk, a bit dizzy. Then I turn around and I see they start the games. Cannot control myself, then I follow.
We don't want him to say you got one eye in trouble, you're not helping me, you are not my friend. I don't want to feel coward. I lost control. So I don't care. I'm really stupid.
The victim was an innocent 17-year-old secondary 3 student. He died from a fractured skull. Ali, Harun and the other 6 youths involved in the killing were sentenced to imprisonment varying from 30 months to 5 years. Each had 6 to 10 strokes of the cane. As for the driver Hassan, he was sentenced to 3 months imprisonment for unlawful assembly. The number of juveniles involving in violent crimes is increasing. Most of these serious offences were committed over trivial matters. So what can teenagers do to avoid getting involved in such rash acts?
I think most of the time youth just follow blindly. Their friend asks them to come along, and when they reach there, each one get a stick. And they have to learn to ask, why am I been given this stick, you see? What are we going to do? All right, and if something they are not sure, then my advice would be walk away from that place.
Weak family ties often result in teenagers turning to their peers for emotional bonding. In cases where parents cannot give proper guidance, the teenagers are likely to go astray.
One example would be where parents do not agree with each other, all right, over what to do or how to manage the teenager in front of the teenager himself. Secondly, I think it would be more open communication and not just to shut down the teenager, learning to listen.
Youngsters do not usually go wayward overnight. Parents are advised to take an interest in their lives.
My advice to parents is to continue to show an interest in the growing teenager, interest in his choices of music, clothing, whatever, friends, the places they go to.
The police is concerned with the rise of juvenile crimes and has currently adopted a number of measures, one of which is the prison visit program. Youths who are identified as gang members or associating with gang members are sent on a tour of the prisons to let them experience the harsh realities of prison life.
From July 16th, teachers will be appointed to be Honorary Volunteer Special Constabulary or VSC senior officers. As liaison officers between the schools and the police, they will be more effective in countering juvenile delinquency.
Starting from October this year, youths below 16 will not be permitted to patronize tea dances and entertainment outlets serving alcohol with dancing facilities. This is because the police has found that such entertainment outlets are meeting points for gang members and a fertile ground for gang recruitment.
The Police and National Youth Council have also introduced a youth development program, Project Streetwise. Youngsters who have drifted into gang activities are put on the program, which includes counselling, developmental training and voluntary curfew.
However, parents should do their part to help their child stay clear of secret society activities. There are some signs that parents should watch out for in their child: losing interest in studies and playing truant, spending time with those outside school and smoking, packing extra clothes to school. This could mean going out straight from school to hang out at undesirable places, getting paged at odd hours and going out immediately, and the use of vulgar language. For parents who find they cannot manage their child and need help, can turn to family service centres and students' care service centres. You can contact the Ministry of Community Development at 1-800-258-6598.
Parents can also refer problem teenagers under 16 years to the juvenile court. The court would either place the children under statutory supervision or put them into an institution run by MCD or a welfare group. And for those who wish to get out of secret societies or give information on them, call the police at 3266 350. Your identities will be kept confidential.
We've got some tips for you on safe driving after the break, so stay with us. Welcome back. It's something we take for granted, but being considerate can go a long way in making driving a much more pleasant experience and minimize the dangers on the roads.
And now, road safety tips from the traffic police, brought to you by BMW and Performance Motors. For a start, road hogging slows down the traffic, especially on the expressway. It is also frustrating for drivers behind you who are driving at a faster speed. They might be tempted to overtake you in a dangerous way. Slow-moving vehicles should stay away from the right lane. Keep to the left lane unless overtaking. Road hogging is an offence and offenders are liable to a fine with 4 demerit points. Next, don't tailgate. Tailgating can be threatening to the driver in front of you. And it's also very stressful for you, the tailgater, since you have to pay extra attention to the car in front. There's always the danger of collision if the car in front stops suddenly. So it's important to keep a safe distance. Now, have you ever found yourself in this situation? You need to get onto the main road, but nobody is willing to let you go. So, you wait and wait. So the next time you're on the main road, give way to those cars from the slip roads. Give way to others. Don't always insist on the right of way. Practice road courtesy and make driving a pleasant experience for everyone.
Well, these messages sound like common sense, but it's so often that we overlook such trivialities when we are behind the wheels.
Next, we need your help to solve a robbery. On the 9th of June this year, a two-storey bungalow at Bukit Ayer Molek off Bukit Timah Road was broken into in the wee hours of the morning at about 2:50 a.m. A man was seriously hurt.
The police are looking for 2 Indonesian men to help in the investigation of this case. 32-year-old John Hendrik Tampu Bolon also goes by another name, Sinaga. He's medium-built, 1.62 meters tall, has a squarish face and sporting short curly hair.
The other man is Hayuddin Layidi, commonly known as Din. He's 34 years old, has a long face and a pointed chin. We believe they can help us solve the case. If you have any information on them, please call the police hotline at 1-800-225-0000.
The police are also giving a $20,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and prosecution of the robbers in the Bukit Ayer Molek case. This $20,000 reward is valid till end of March next year.
Information may be given either in person or in writing to any police station, neighbourhood police post, or just by calling the police hotline. That's 1-800-225-0000. All information will be kept confidential.
With that, we've come to the end of the program. See you in the next Crime Watch. Goodbye.
Good night.